justice concept of white people were bad before and so they have to be punished now, because this is simply bad parenting. If you have two kids and you say to one of them, "You've been bad, so I'm going to ignore your wants and needs and interests for the next, 100 years, and I'm going to shower everything on your little sister. Okay, we just don't care about you anymore." Is this like a good parenting move? Is this going to create healthy things? Absolutely not. It's going to create resentment. It's going to create ethnic grievances, and it's going to lead us down the same path, which is exactly what we supposedly want to avoid. You cannot tell people that they're being punished for the sins of their ancestors unless you want this to explode into a race war that will go on for the next 1,000 years, which is, I'm afraid, what we're heading for. Treating people equally means treating people equally. And the entire affirmative action regime needs to go, because it's the most dangerous thing happening in America today. And as I said, it's everywhere. It's in movies and television. You can't cast black people as the heavy in a movie anymore. If I see like a cop show, okay, and there's like, they're like looking for corruption, I know the black cop didn't do it, because you can't have a bad black cop. There's always the white cop. Have you ever seen those commercials for home security systems like ADT Home Security? Yep. The guy breaking into your house is white. What percentage of the time in those commercials? 100% of the time. 100%. Do you think that reflects reality? That 100% of the people who break into houses are always white. They're never Hispanic. They're never black. They're never anything. They're 100% white. This is, again, it's the same kind of affirmative action. It's really, really dangerous. This is, the Nazis used to do this with Jews. What they would do is, if a Jew anywhere in Germany committed a crime, it would be in every single paper in Nazi Germany. Every single paper would cover it. And if a non-Jew committed a crime, they just ignore it altogether. So the papers never lied. It was all true. But if you read the paper, you would very quickly get the impression that every single crime was being committed, by Jews, because that's all I ever hear about. Did you know that the exact same week that Ferguson, Missouri shooting happened with the police, that a black state trooper in Texas shot an unarmed white motorist? Same week?
Yep.
Got no press coverage. I'm impressed that you heard about it, because nobody cares about that. That's not the story we want to talk about. I was looking at news coverage of the looters in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and they were all black.
Yep.
And none of the reporters mentioned that. If you see the footage, you see it. But if you read the story, there's not a word about it. It's an interesting question. Should the reporters have mentioned that the looters were all black? And I actually agree with the reporters in not mentioning it. The usual journalistic ethic is that you don't mention it unless it's relevant to the story. And that's probably a good idea. I don't want to see headlines that say, "Oh, a Mexican guy just, robbed a bank." I'd rather not have that. But there's one exception, and that is if it's a white person who kills a black person, particularly if the white person is a cop, that will be in the story right off the bat. Before anyone has any evidence of what happened here, that's what you're going to get. Okay, the white cop shot the black kid. That's the first headline out the gate. They would never do it the other way around. And again, this is stoking ethnic grievance. It's ripping our country apart. It needs to stop. And then the final point, the final